Thank you for choosing American Pest CEUs. This course was prepared by Jack Launius. Hi, I'm Sean Reeves. I'm an Associate Certified Entomologist with American Pest CEUs, and I'll be your instructor for today's course. I've been in the pest management industry since 1999. Insects and their relatives. This course covers insects development. These changes is called metamorphosis. The kind of changes may vary among different insect groups. Metamorphosis can be no metamorphosis, gradual metamorphosis, incomplete metamorphosis, complete metamorphosis. Pests covered are arachnids, crustaceans, centipedes, and millipedes, flies, ants, and cockroaches. Insects and their relatives. Insects, physical characteristics. All insects in the adult stage have two physical characteristics in common. They have 3 pairs of jointed legs, and they have 3 body regions: the head, the thorax, and abdomen. The head supports antennae, eyes, and mouth parts. The antennae vary in size and shape and can be a help in identifying some pest insects. Insects have compound eyes made up of many individual eyes. These compound eyes enable insects to discern motion, but probably not clear images. The 4 general types of mouth parts are chewing, piercing, sucking, sponging, and siphoning. With insects and their relatives, chewing mouth parts contain toothed jaws that bite and tear the food. Cockroaches, ants, beetles, caterpillars, and grasshoppers are in this group. Piercing, sucking mouth parts consist of a long, slender tube which is forced into plant or animal tissue to suck out fluids or blood. Insects with these mouth parts are stable flies, sucking lice, bed bugs, mosquitoes, true bugs, and aphids. With insects and their relatives, sponging mouth parts have a tubular tongue-like structure with a spongy tip to suck up liquids or soluble food. This type of mouth part is found in the flesh flies, blowflies, and houseflies. Siphoning mouth parts are formed into a long tube for sucking nectar. Butterflies and moths have this type. When looking at insects, we need to talk about metamorphosis. This is the series of changes through which an insect passes in its growth from egg to adult and is called metamorphosis. When the young first hatches from an egg, it is either a larva, nymph, or naiad. After feeding for a time, the young grows to a point where the skin cannot stretch further. The young molts and new skin is formed. The number of these stages, called instars, varies with different insect species, and in some cases may vary with temperature, humidity, and availability in kinds of food. The heaviest feeding generally occurs during the final 2 instars. Some insects do not change except in size between hatching and reaching the adult stage. The insect grows larger with each successive instar until it reaches maturity. Examples are silverfish, firebrats, and springtails. The food and habits of the young, called nymphs, are similar to those of the adult. When looking at gradual metamorphosis, insects in this group pass through 3 quite different stages of development before reaching maturity. This is going to be the egg, the nymph, and the adult. The nymphs resemble the adult in form, eat the same food, and live in the same environment. The change of the body is gradual, and the wings, when present, become fully developed only in the adult stage. Examples of this are cockroaches, lice, termites, aphids, and scales. The insects with incomplete metamorphosis also pass through 3 stages of development: egg, naiad, and adult. The adult is similar to the young, but the naiads are aquatic. Examples of these insects are going to be dragonflies, mayflies, and stoneflies. The insects with complete metamorphosis pass through 4 stages of development: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. The young, which may be called larvae, caterpillars, maggots, or grubs, are entirely different from the adults. They usually live in different situations and in many cases feed on different foods than adults. Examples of this are going to be beetles, butterflies, flies, mosquitoes, fleas, bees, and ants. Let's look at some insect-like pests. We're going to have in this category mites, ticks, spiders, sow-bugs, pill-bugs, centipedes, and millipedes, and they resemble insects in size, shape, life cycle, and habits. Pest species are usually controlled with the same techniques and materials used to control insects. Let's take a look at arachnids. These would be ticks, scorpions, spiders, and mites have 8 legs and only 2 body regions. They are wingless and lack antennae. The metamorphosis is gradual and includes both larval and nymphal stages. Eggs hatch into larvae, 6 legs, which become nymphs, 8 legs, and then adults. Ticks and mites have modified, piercing, sucking mouth parts. Spiders and scorpions have chewing mouth parts. With crustaceans, we'd be talking about sow-bugs and pill-bugs, water fleas, and wood lice. They have 14 legs. They are wingless and contain only one segmented body region. They have 2 pairs of antennae and chewing mouth parts. Sow-bugs and pill-bugs have a hard, protective shell-like covering and are related to the aquatic lobsters, crabs, and crayfish. The metamorphosis with these is gradual, and there may be up to 20 instars before adulthood is reached. The sow-bug has a pair of tail-like appendages which project out from the rear of its body, while the pill-bug has no extreme posterior appendages and can roll up into a tight ball when disturbed. Sow-bugs and pill-bugs are scavengers and feed mainly on decaying organic matter. They occasionally feed on young plants, but the damage inflicted is seldom significant. Sow-bugs and pill-bugs thrive only in areas of high moisture and tend to remain hidden under objects during the day. Around buildings, they are common under mulch, compost, boards, stones, flower pots, and other items resting on damp ground. Another frequent hiding place is behind the grass edge adjoining sidewalks and foundations. Sow-bugs and pill-bugs may leave their natural habitats at night and crawl about over sidewalks, patios, and foundations. They often invade crawl spaces, damp basements, and first floors of houses at ground level. Common points of entry into buildings include door thresholds, especially at the base of sliding glass doors, expansion joints, and through the voids of concrete block walls. Frequent sightings of these pests indoors usually means there are large numbers breeding on the outside close to the foundation. Since sow-bugs and pill-bugs require moisture, they do not survive indoors for more than a few days unless there are very moist or damp conditions. Centipedes are made up of 30 segments, each containing 1 pair of legs. They have chewing mouth parts. Some species can inflict painful bites on humans. Millipedes contain 30 segments and are cylindrical like an earthworm. The body is wingless, and each segment bears 2 pair of legs. Their antennae are short, and mouth parts are comb-like. Millipedes feed on decaying organic matter, seeds, bulbs, and roots. There is no metamorphosis. Centipedes and millipedes do not change except in size between hatching and reaching the adult stage. Looking at the development of arachnids, which would be ticks, scorpions, spiders, and mites, they have 8 legs and only 2 body regions. They are wingless and lack antennae. The metamorphosis is gradual and includes both larval and nymphal stages. Eggs hatch into larvae, 6 legs, which become nymphs, 8 legs, and then adults. Ticks and mites have modified, piercing, sucking mouth parts. Spiders and scorpions have chewing mouth parts. As you can see with the images on the screen here, arachnids, spiders, ticks, mites, and scorpions, if we look at the black widow, you're going to see 4 pairs of legs, 2 body regions, cephalothorax, abdomen, and no antenna. And the photos here also show eggs of the black widow spider. Speaking on the black widow spider, venom from its bite can cause reactions ranging from mild to painful and serious, but death is very unlikely, and many symptoms can be alleviated if medical treatment is obtained. Anyone bitten by this spider should remain calm and promptly seek medical advice. It is helpful if the offending spider can be caught and saved for identification. The typical adult female black widow has a shiny black body, slender black legs, and a red or orange mark in the shape of an hourglass on the underside of the large round abdomen. The body, excluding legs, is 5/16 to 5/8 inch long. The adult male widow is 1/2 to 2/3 the length of the female, has a small abdomen, and is seldom noticed. The male black widow does possess venom, but its fangs are typically too small to break human skin. This was a snapshot of the types of courses we offer at American Pest CEUs. Do you want to learn more about pest control? Do you need to get CEUs to keep your license good? Visit us on the web at AmericanPestCEUS.com.